Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Jacob, and in this video we are going to be making a simple audio player in JavaScript and HTML. Okay, so let's get started. Here in the HTML, it's pretty simple. We have a div with a class of audio player, and inside that we have our play button, and inside that we have an I tag with a class of ion play. That's going to give us this play icon that we're drawing from the Ionic ion icons that you can grab from ionicons.com. And so we have a link to our CSS, link to our JavaScript, and in the HTML we also have a seek bar, and inside that we have a fill div and a handle div. That's going to tell us where we are in the song, how far along is the song progressed, and how much it's played. So let's get to styling. Here's the basic structure of our Sass code, and let's get going. So our button is going to display block, width of 100 pixels, height of 100 pixels, just so we can see what we're doing. I'll change that later. Border, no border. Background color, blue. Color, white. Font size, 30 pixels. Let's see what we have so far. That looks good. And then border radius of a lot of pixels. Alright, so there we have our circular play button. I'm going to trim this down to 60 pixels, width and height. No, maybe that's too much. 80. That looks good. Alright, now for our seek bar, I'm going to give that a width of, say, 400 pixels. Outline 1 pixel solid red, just so we can see what we're working with. Okay, this has to be display of flex. There we go. That looks nice. Okay, I'm going to give this a margin of 10 pixels. Okay, looks good. And a height. Well, we can use these elements down here to set the height. So this can be height of, say, 10 pixels. Like that. Oh. This is also going to be display flex. And this is how we're going to be changing the width of the fill with a style set here. So we'll say width is 56% or something, just for the sake of styling it. I'm going to give this a background color of white so we can just see it. There we go. Okay, this is going to say align content center. I believe that's the correct. Nope. Line items. There we go. Okay, and do I want this inline? No. I think this also needs align items center set. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. And then I'm going to set the background color to, this one's actually going to be white, and this will be our blue color. There we go, we can get rid of this outline. Okay, and I'm going to add a border radius of a lot of pixels, as well as add the same thing to the fill, like so. Okay, that looks pretty. Cursor pointer. Okay, so it looks like it's clickable. And now let's style the handle. It's going to have a width of 10 pixels, a height of 10 pixels. Oh, now to make sure we can see it. Background color blue. Oh, wrong blue. That blue. Okay, so there it is right there. Border radius of a lot of pixels. So it's round. And now I'm going to margin left is going to be -5 pixels. There we go. So now the center of this is right over the very tip of the end of the fill. And then I'm going to transform it by scaling it twice its original size. There we go. There's our handle. Okay. And now let's add a hover effect too. And hover. Background color. Lighten blue by 10% for now. Okay, that looks good. And scale it. Transform it by scaling it up again to 3 times its original size. And let's add a transition, all 0.1 seconds. There we go. That looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, that should be all for now, I believe, in the Sass, so we can remove that and move on to the JavaScript. Okay, so I have a song here, just called song.ogg, and I can say let audio equals new audio song.ogg. Now, that's not completely cross-platform. You might want to do some type checking and see what file types the browser can play, but I know that my browser can play this OGG file, so we'll just leave it at that for now. Now we need to select a few of our elements. The seek bar, the play button, the icon inside of it. So I'll say let seek bar equal document.query selector seek bar. Okay. If you have multiple audio players on the page, this is only going to select one of the seek bars. So you'd have to loop through every single one and select all these, but we only have one audio player in this case, so that's fine. Let play button equals document.query selector button play. Okay. What else? We need the fill. Fill bar equals seek bar dot query selector dot fill, and that should be enough to work with for now. We can add more later if we need, and we're just gonna say right off the bat audio dot add event listener. Let's say on play. We'll do something, and that will be setting the play button. Let's select another element here. Let play button icon equal play button dot query selector I. Okay, play button icon dot class name equals, well, since it's not playing, we want a pause button. Okay, something very similar. On pause, we now want a play button. Okay, so, and now let's add handlers to our play button. So play button dot add event listener. Click if audio is paused, then audio.play. Otherwise, if the audio is playing, audio.pause. And calling these methods will respectively call their event handlers as well. So let's refresh, And if I click play, it works. Okay, I'm noticing a little funkiness with our styling here. I need more margin here. We'll change this to maybe 30 pixels. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to add one more thing to the play button, and that is cursor pointer. Okay, we should be done mostly in the styling now. Wonderful. Okay, now we have to audio.add event listener on time update, so when the player advances in time, we have to update the fill bar. Okay, so let p equals, and p stands for percent filled, is going to be audio.current time over audio.duration. Okay? And then fill bar dot style dot width equals p times 100 plus the percent sign, like that. Refresh play, and now this is advancing along with the audio. Okay, but now we need to make it so that this is draggable. You can select wherever you want to go. So for this, I'm going to add a new variable. That's going to be let mouse down equals false. Is the mouse down yet? No. And then seek bar to add event listener. Listener. No. Mouse down. Do this function. Mouse down equals true. And then we're going to update the location of the fill bar without changing the time yet, because we're going to allow the time to be changed on mouse up. So you can drag around without changing where you are on the audio yet, but then when you release the mouse, then it'll change your position in the track. So let p equals, okay, so we need this event object, and e has a client x property, and that's going to be where on the screen the mouse was pressed down. Okay, so e.clientx minus seek bar dot offset left. Okay, that's going to tell us where on the seek bar we clicked, and then we're going to divide that whole thing, by seek bar dot client width, like that. And I'm just going to console dot log p for now. All right, go over to our console, click there. About 10% through, this should be about halfway through, and this should be near the end. Some problem we can run into, though, is we can get negative values because this handle expands beyond the edge of the seek bar. So in order to fix that, I'm going to write this quick little function clamp a value between a minimum and a maximum. Be pretty simple. Return math.max. What's larger, the value or the maximum value? And we can wrap this in math.min. What is smaller, minimum value or value? Okay, so now I can say p equals clamp between 0 and 1 p. Okay, and now we should be unable to get negative value. Shucks, I did it wrong. Okay, so this has to be math.max and math.min. there we go, 0. Okay, and, well, this doesn't reach the end yet, but that would be 1. Okay, so now we're going to set the fill bar dot style dot width equals p times, oh, jeepers. Okay, so that percent, we already have the percent, and then, okay, p times 100 plus the percent sign, like that. Now, if I press my mouse down, then it moves to wherever, and oh, now I can test it. Oh, well, didn't have it logging. That's okay. Alrighty, now that's on mouse down, and then seek bar dot add event listener on mouse up. Actually, this is going to be window, so you only have to click on here, and you can drag all the way around. And then whenever you release, your mouse doesn't have to be over the seek bar still. Whenever you release your mouse, it'll still work. So that's why we do window.add event listener, function e, okay, on mouse up. Okay, then if mouse down, if it was down to begin with, well, we can make this more succinct by doing this. If not mouse down return, then we can just assume that it's down here. Mouse down equals false. And then we're basically going to copy the same code here, like that, but also at the end, audio.current time equals p times audio.duration. So we've repeated this code here, so I'm going to pop that into a function. Function get p, and that will take an event object and cut that from here, like that. Return p. Alright, let p equal get p e, and let p equal get p e. Like that. Okay, so now there, and mouse up works. Okay, now we also want window.add event listener mouse move. Very similar thing here, let p equal get p e. Oh, we also have to have this check here. If not mouse down, return. Okay, let p equals get p e, and then fill bar dot style dot width equals p times 100 plus a percent sign. And I forgot my semicolon. So now we should be able to drag this all around, and then when I release, it sets the current time. Wonderful. But now, what if I try and drag it around while it's playing? That doesn't work very well at all, because we need to have a check here. I'm going to move this declaration of this variable all the way up here so that we can use it here. And if mouse down, return. Don't update the time according to what is currently being played if we're currently dragging around this little slider. So refresh this, start playing, and we can drag it around, and when I release, it updates. And then it still continues progressing along. Alright. There you go, everybody. That is how you make a really basic audio player in JavaScript and HTML. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you learned something from it. My name is Jacob. Don't forget to subscribe and have a good one. It's surprisingly difficult to concentrate and speak while this music player is playing. Oh my goodness.